fancy ghost hunting technology. She decides to rejoin the group, so she calls out, "Bye, Audrey," and then snaps one last picture.
I don't know if that light was on before we got here, but it's on.
That light always on up there?
Yeah, I don't, it's been on for a while.
Show you, bro.
Just in case.
I didn't notice it before.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to see that.
Right here?
Oh, wow.
Wait, where's the sign?
It's right in the middle.
Oh,
Actually, no, it's in the window. You're right by. That's
the one I kept yeah, it's the one I kept videotaping over there.
Wow.
Wait, let me see that for real.
Crazy.
Is there? That is not what I saw in the video. I saw a cowboy in there.
Pigtails.
It was a cowboy on the video. There was a picture in there. Yeah, I mean, I swear that was a cowboy, not like a hipster.
A cowboy where?
So, you see that guy right there?
Oh, that.
I've been videotaping that. I kept looking at that and looking at that and looking at it.
I mean, if she's so happy, I feel like she was.
I swear that was a cowboy.
You out or it was
No.
the real deal?
I was videotaping and I'm looking at it. It looked like a cowboy the whole time. It looked like a cowboy. And I went up to it and I go, there's got to be something. And it's not. It's like a hipster with glasses. But it looked like an old-time cowboy.
Oh, dude, you just made me think there was a fucking wild-ass cowboy in there.
No, just...
I was going to pop in and out.
I got you.
I wonder if they can manipulate pictures like that.
By the way, they also say that sometimes, if the lighting is just right, you can see the figure of 3 men standing in that direction over there.
Oh, wow. Got me good.
It actually got me when I was standing by the well.
I think it's perfect that you're on this tour, and then he was very, terrified of the situations on the tour.
Oh, it's fueled with the fire. I can't help myself. My kids are all into it too.
I think it's cool, I've never experienced anything, so I just enjoy, the stories because I'm a big history person. So I like all the history behind the things.
Yeah. Well, if you have time later, I'd like to show you a picture. I have not been able to get anybody to give me to tell me what this picture is.
Y'all are missing out. Y'all should try the next one.
What next one?
I think this is the last one.
We're actually sold out on our tours tomorrow night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, tonight, 9:15. Sweet. She goes home. Tomorrow I want to go to the wild place. They come back like 9:15, sold out on Saturday. I was like, okay, so we're coming tonight.
Yeah, we're sold out on both our tours tomorrow because with everything going on, we're limiting it to 10 people.
So people have been really getting on top of it.
We're trying.
Really nice to see a
Very cool.
Let's do a little dancing song. Thank you. Y'all made it a dancing song. That was some pretty good moves there.
Well, my battery's dead already. No way this battery's draining that quick.
She said if they take your battery.
That's how they get. What do they get their energy that way, or?
It's a really common way because, that way they can actually take from the energy source and
Well, I know they're not draining my phone battery. It's like an iPhone 5, so it just dies on its own.
You just say, "Hey Siri," and it's like, "Goodbye."
I get 12 minutes of talk time.
12 minutes. That's almost as good as the Samsung Galaxy.
Yeah. Well, if it doesn't explode in your face.
Yeah.
9 minutes and it detonates next to your head.
Hey, I don't even know. Seriously, I'm gonna order one.
I did a spirit box session over by that well.
How do you all know each other?
Did anybody fall in that well?
No, we're just enjoying it.
Do you know?
Just have
Did anybody fall in that well?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, okay, Spirit Box was giving me answers like, I fell in the well.
Oh. Could very well be. I just haven't heard stories of it.
Ah.
I'm just saying, some people are not like that.
Oh yeah, no.
Like some of my friends are from smaller places and they're like,
I'm scared. I'm gonna like stay away.
y'all keep coming in.
Oh,
I'm glad that you guys are open now.
no. I'm not going to just because you told me to.
Come out.
Jesus,
You're
look
not
at
the
the
boss
size
of
of that tomato. That's a
that's
green
it.
tomato.
Man, that is shit. Man, my shit is not nearly this big.
All right, well, now that I have you all in the back alley, you can see how we make our real money.
Dustin, why are you messing with the tomato plant? Dude, I planted tomato plants, and from a seed, it's like this big. It didn't even grow, man. It didn't grow at all.
Don't plant them next to jalapenos. You just end up with spicy tomatoes.
Oh, that'd be dope.
I'm dead serious. I made that mistake.
Salsa plant all in
That's what
one,
I was
right?
saying. Yeah, that's
No,
perfect.
really? They're spicy?
Yeah, they their roots like cross, and then the capsaicin
That's like
travels over.
organic GMO.
I've learned something new.
I'm from Colorado, bro. We cross-pollinate everything, bro. The weed's crazy.
Dude, that's meat stock. I made like $54 today.
Now, this here is the Nutshell Eatery and Bakery. In the early days of Grandbury, this, along with St. Helens next door, to a large saloon and mercantile store owned by A.P. Gordon, whose house we were just at. There's actually 2 resident spirits in here, one of which you can even see on the wall right here. You have to stand right in this corner because she's at an angle. It's the only way you can see her from here. But she sits on the right side of the bar in this mural, wearing a long red dress and a big black hat. In the early days of Grandbury, when the bottom part was a saloon, the upstairs area was rumored to be a gentleman's area where men could find company for the evening. It's a family tour. Yeah. I know there's no kids on this tour, but I always make sure because I don't want to have kids going, Mommy, what's a brothel? It's like, oh. I give them something. But something, ask your parents. But so people believe that this lady in red was the proprietor of that establishment. Children have actually seen her quite often. One time a lady and her young son came in. Lady goes up to the counter to order. Son hangs back, pointing at the staircase saying, why is no one helping her? I said, who are you talking about? He says, well, that lady in the red dress. One morning, an employee came in to open up, feels a rush of cold air go by her. Wouldn't mind that right now, as a ghost, you need one, right? She then turns to face the girl, getting that started, when all of a sudden, silverware goes flying behind her head. Later on, she's closing up the credit card machines. She actually sees a white apparition go by, feels a rush of cold air again. Now, the lady in red must have to look out the windows out front upstairs. An employee was closing up one day, closes and locks the shutters, comes downstairs, looks up, shutters are open again, just to go back and relock them. Of course, now it's a private residence up there. I can't vouch if they should be open anymore or not. I think they use curtains now anyway. One evening, the lady that did these murals in here decided to call it a night. So she goes to put her paintbrushes away. Except she can't find her paintbrushes anywhere. She's searching all over because why would someone steal 25 paintbrushes? She finally gives up, goes home, comes back the next day. They're later discovered sticking upside down, buried bristles first, in the dirt of the ficus tree plant out front, with only about a quarter of each handle showing. So I don't know if this is commentary on how she's being depicted in the mural. I know she's definitely very moody, likes things the way she likes them, and will pitch a hissy fit if she doesn't get her way, hence the flying silverware thing. So I'm sure she's trying to tell us something.
So she's a woman?
Right. Don't mess with us, we know how things are done.
I knew that was coming.
I was kidding, baby.
Now there's one more very
Dusty
famous.
I was not.
There's one more very famous ghostly resident living in here. We'll learn more about him right around the corner.
What is the tree?
It's cute.
ghosts. Oh yeah, we're on Gary County's tours right here.
Oh, what's this?
This is the opera house. Like a comedy place?
This here is the Grandbury Opera House, home to the most famous haunting in Grandbury. If you're familiar with Grandbury ghost stories, you've heard of this one. Featured on Ghost Lab on the Discovery Channel, as well as any other number of TV shows and publications. Legend has it that John Wilkes Booth, the assassin of President Lincoln, was not killed in 1865. It was another man instead. He escaped, moved here under the name of John St. Helen, where he tended bar. Of course, there's up for debate as to whether this man actually was John Wilkes Booth. But there are some interesting points to consider. His boss, A.P. Gordon, noted that St. Helen was always a very sober man, never drank to excess, always held his liquor well, except for on the evening of the anniversary of Lincoln's assassination, St. Helen was found completely falling down, slobbering drunk. Maybe he had a guilty conscience about something? St. Helen was also known for walking with a limp, as if his leg had been broken in the past. Booth did break his leg when he jumped from the balcony after killing Lincoln. And St. Helen was known for teaching theater to the school children, for randomly orating and quoting Shakespeare, and of course, Booth was an actor. St. Helen fell seriously ill one day and was laying on what he believed to be his deathbed. He decided to confess to A.P. Gordon's brother, F.J. Gordon, alongside a Memphis attorney named Finis L. Bates, who happens to be the grandfather of actress Kathy Bates, by the way. How's that for a random connection for you right there? It's like 6 degrees of Grandbury over here. We'll find Kevin Bacon one of these days. He confessed to both of them that he was John Wilkes Booth. He even went so far as to tell F.J. Gordon where he had hidden the murder weapon. Gordon followed his instructions, easily recovered the weapon. It's still reportedly to this day in the hands of the Gordon family in a safe in San Antonio. St. Helen recovered from his illness, realized what he'd done, oops, let the cat out of the bag, and quickly fled the town. Years later, in a town named Enid, Oklahoma, a man named David George committed suicide after having confessed to people that he was John Wilkes Booth. Not necessarily.
How the hell 18-wheeler?
The body of David George was then mummified and put on a traveling freak show circuit till about the 1970s, when the mummy mysteriously disappeared. To this day, we have no idea what has happened to that mummy. Can't make this stuff up, right? So you can't see pictures of it online, though. If you Google image search John Wilkes Booth, David George mummy, that sort of thing, it's kind of to see if you're morbid like I am. It's kind of gruesome. It's a mummy. So, of course, a lot of activities have been experienced in here.
Wait,
So
did you see it?
I'm sorry?
Saw the mummy?
You see the pictures, yeah? You see the pictures.
Oh, God.
It's easy to find. Actually, I think they even have them on display in the jailhouse. But the pictures, not the actual mummy. So, of course, a lot of activities have been experienced in here. So, Ghost Lab with the Discovery Channel came in to investigate, taking out EVP recordings, really badging and berating them. We know who you are, you coward. Tell us who you are. They play it back. You get a very clear recording of a man saying, yes, I'm John Wilkes Booth. Now, I actually spoke with Brad King of Ghost Lab a while back, told me that audio you hear on the show is a little bit altered. The original audio they got was, yes, I'm John Wilkes Booth. You, something I can't repeat in front of a white company. It's a family. So, of course, the Discovery Channel is more of a family-friendly number. You get the last 2 words off, you get the gist of it. But I like that added flavor. Gives a whole new attitude to what he's saying there, right? Who would have thought a presidential assassin would be such a potty?
What a
We'll
son of
continue
a
on
bitch.
this.
Very good. Actually, well, you said asshole. You might have been saying asshole. You could have said anything. For all we know.
Well, that's bizarre.
Just fill the blank.
My camera was way above. My camera was above 19 minutes, and now it's at 14 minutes.
What?
Because back there, I was saying I need to check the camera at 19 minutes, and it's only at 14:52.
What's that?
That's really weird.
Unless it stopped. No, battery's fine now.
That's the charger.
It was dying on like about 5 minutes ago.
But what does that mean, bro?
Means there was a ghost by.
Really? Are you serious?
Dead. Dead serious.
Pretty sure I saw that truck at that restaurant yesterday.
What show?
Man, that smells good.
You're so similar.
The owner actually is from Germany too.
Oh, really? This is a German restaurant. Yeah, and she's saying that I'm
Und keine Eier.
Is it pretty good?
It's very good. Granted, I don't eat meat, so there's not a whole lot that I can eat there anymore. But when I did eat meat, their bratwurst was very good.
When did they, you know, when they opened it? Is it
It's been a few years. They've been around for a good while.
Oh, you're going.
World War II.
Yeah, that's been since then, yeah.
Oh, you're Nazis, huh? It's possible. I was like, yeah, take that one. I really was happy to wait. Then they're coming Nazis at the war. Yeah. I'm just saying, that makes sense.
I want to go in there.
No,
I like
Trader.
Have you ever had it?
They hit us.
Christina.
American table. What's that mean?
Table that's American?
American table. Native American table?
Maybe.
Coffee bar. I have a ghost squatting in my coffee bar. That's cool.
I'm ready for this coffee bar to open.
I know, I'm looking forward to it.
I don't even drink coffee.
Now this here is one of the most popular stories on our tour. People believe that here at what was a market on the square, endowed with artifacts and Silver Saddle Saloon, they believe this whole area is haunted by a little faceless girl. The story.
What's that mean?
She needs a face.
We're talking like leather faceless.
You'll see. But,
I don't want to see.
Talking like non-human entity?
the story is back in the early 1900s, a circus came to town and accidentally left this little girl behind. She wound up wandering the streets along this way, and now she's still here. Another version of the story suggests she was watching the circus parade pass from an upstairs window when she fell from the window, and again, she's still here. Either way, it's believed that some circus was involved and it didn't go very well. While that store called Books on the Square used to be where Silver Saddle Saloon is now. At that time, they had a toy section in the back with a display tree full of hanging stuffed monkeys. You know the kind that when you squeeze, it goes lets out a horrible shriek. One evening, an employee is posing up. He's all alone in the store. The doors are locked. He's up at the register reconciling the books. But all of a sudden, from the back of the store, he hears every single one of the monkeys on the monkey tree start screaming all at once. That also happened to be the last time he told his boss he would ever work by himself after dark. However, that is not why this is everyone's favorite story. Everyone's favorite story happened right here. Back in the 1980s, they had a photo booth in here. One of the old-timey kind you can dress up as a saloon girl or a cowboy, get your picture taken. They come in one morning to open up, find that the booth was a bit in disarray. Camera's on its lowest setting on the tripod, which no one would have ever set it at. Made the camera very unstable. It's an expensive camera, you didn't want to mess with it. The antique chair had been moved, and there was a blue dress draped across the chair. This is all very odd. Every person that had a key to the building is inside the building at the same time.
Looking.
But not a single one of them has any clue as to what could have happened the night before. So they're tidying up, getting ready to open, still puzzling over what's going on. When all of a sudden, one of them discovers a photograph in the wastewater basket nearby.
phone or run, right?
No, no.
Oh, you're
If they'd let me go in there, I'd go in there after it.
About show us the one.
Oh, let me.
Wait, so
Oh, wow.
is that a ghost or like?
Wait, what is that?
The face of the story. It's somebody in
chair. Wait, did they take a picture of the chair and then that came out? Or?
No, they just happened to find this picture in the trash in
Oh.
the morning. As you can see, this is the chair that had been moved. And this is the blue dress that was draped across the chair.
That's a faceless girl.
Yeah.
When the flowers and the ball were nowhere to be seen, they never had them in the store before and didn't after that, so I don't know if she brought them with her and took them back or what. And as you can see, you can make out, as you can see, you make out pretty much every detail of this picture except for her face. She actually has been spotted by a couple people so far that I know of. Each time they described her as having some sort of a white veil material covering her face, so they can't make out the details. Of course, the jury is still out as to why she has no face. Most common theories are she was with the circus, maybe she had some sort of disfigurement.
Yes.
Or if she fell while watching the circus, maybe that's where she landed. Either way, it's all this theory. We really have no idea what actually happened to her.
What, the circus ripped her face off?
Elephant.
She's the elephant man's granddaughter.
Yeah.
Of course, that's why this is everyone's favorite story, is how many times you get a picture, a ghost that you get a picture of themselves behind you. Makes my job easier. First ever ghost selfie that I know.
Have y'all done this place? Have y'all done yours?
We haven't been in here yet. Maybe once they finish renovating, we can do some other stuff.
Wait.
If you ever do,
Is it this place that I saw in the balcony, those swinging chairs?
Might be. Can't remember.
So why would they went ahead and put chairs in there?
Unless it's like next door, like one of them.
There's a balcony up there. There's
People up there?
with a faceless ghost. Running wild. They don't give a shit.
oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you're good, man.
Here, right there.
Just enjoying Justin's company. That's all. This place right up here is great ice cream.
Maybe she's a non-human entity. Maybe she's a non-human entity. That would explain why her face won't show. Because human entities can always full form. Non-human entities would be something that never been human. Impersonating. Huh? Like a demon.
Haunted than hot? Well, yeah, because
Oh, wow.
deal with.
Stop, dude. What are you talking about? Oh, wow, what?
These are my favorites right
Bro,
here.
I'm trying to figure out who fits.
Whoa, what is that? Dude, go back. What was that? I saw something. Oh, that's a cat. But there's not a cat up there. Oh, he's up there, baby. Look. Oh, no, that's a rock.
No, seriously, bro. Like, talk to me real quick.
You know, the funny thing is
There are ghost cats, for God's sake.
No, it wasn't funny.
I had a ghost cat save my life.
She's trying not to come to your apartment.
I had a ghost cat save my life, man.
What?
Yeah.
A ghost cat?
I was doing a ghost hunt. We kept hearing a cat. We kept walking. We walked over to the cat area where the cat was, and somebody shot 3 rounds in a drive-by. No, someone was shooting at somebody's
Dude, that
house.
room is like right there, dude. I'm telling you, it's like right. Oh, wait, is it right there?
Who is that?
Yeah, see these windows right here?
Dude, this place is super haunted.
Where's this whole square right here?
I'm surprised you're staying here.
They don't know the negative part. Until the bad part.
They want to make sure reverse.
Oh, with that exhaust, it couldn't be.
Now this here is the B.M. Estes building. It was built in 1893 by Mr. Estes. He was a prominent figure in town, well-respected lawyer, county judge, and district attorney. People believe that Mr. Estes is still here as well. Before this was Farina's, it was 2 separate clothing stores. She called his cabin in the 2-story section closest to his brother, and the clothes horse in the single-story section next door by the patio. An employee of the clothes horse was working up front one day all alone in the store. All of a sudden, from the back sales section, she hears the very distinct sound of clothes being separated up front. She's back to thinking maybe someone's come in that she didn't notice, and of course there's no one back there. However, the clothes were separated from the back. All of a sudden, those little children running around upstairs there. However, that's the single-story section. There is no upstairs. No one should be running around up there. Here, what was Dakota's cabin? They say items would fall off shelves.
I'm sleeping in that room.
Suitcases would be heard rolling around on the floor. One time the owner told me she had a deck of Texas playing cards for sale up by the front counter. She comes in the morning and discovers they're laying stacked perfectly on top of each other on the floor in the back of the store. letting everyone know what we were doing. We come in here to Dakota's cabin at the front counter. I told the lady, starting next weekend, every Friday and Saturday evenings, we'll be doing ghost tours on the square. As soon as I say this, a cowboy booth on display on the sidewall flies off the wall and lands about 8 feet away from where it originally sat. There was no one in that corner to have pushed it or thrown it. There's no way it could have fallen and landed that far away on its own. The lady laughed and said, the ghost right there. People up front are calling their phones to the back of the store. Can I come see that you talk about a ghost tour and a group just flew off the wall? They were taking pictures of the booth. They were like, so all I did is get up to Mr. Estes, voicing his approval of the tour, giving us a little ad promotion. We'll take a week to get it right. Everyone was in.
But did you run like hell when that happened?
Oh, we were just like, actually, we took a picture of it. Oh, no, we were measuring it.
We need this.
All I know is I did not pull that curtain up that high.
Bro.
Something just touched my fucking arm.
That was me. I just touched it.
No.
I went like this.
No one was near me.
I pulled that second one up, that first one. I did not pull that second one. I did not pull that second shade of that high. I swear to God. I did not.
Actually, that is where they have the cash. You can talk to the other ones that, like, what is it called? Where you keep your, like, what is it called?
Bank?
Like safety deposit board?
Yeah, I think so. That's what it's called, yeah.
Are you talking about the smaller ones?
Yeah, there's two different vaults. One of them has cash, and the other one. Yeah.
I think like the one like Scrooge McDuck, you know, like
I feel like diving into a pool full of gold coins would hurt.
yeah, I was gonna say probably not as pleasant as it looks on the cartoon.
I mean, I'd probably still
yeah.
do it just to do it.
But no, I'm actually not talking about
Like Scrooge McDuckin', like.
I feel like that would hurt, like 12 feet into gold. You know, it'd be worth the death.
Well, you at least have money to take care of the concussion.
Next story, but it's still pretty fitting that I'm standing in front of one anyway. Just down this road about half a mile, a little too far to walk to tonight, is the city cemetery. There's some famous residents out there, including General Grandbury, alongside a marker for his wife, who's unfortunately not with him. She's in an unmarked grave in Alabama. Also the family of Ashley Crockett, minus Elizabeth, of course, who's out in Acton. There's one more very famous resident of the cemetery, if you believe the tale. History tells us that notorious bandit Jesse James was killed in 1882 by a member of his own gang and buried in Missouri. Powerful local the Jesse James figure. I haven't heard of him haunting this. You should go. But now the legend tells us that he left the town. I'm getting ahead of myself there. Sorry. It's a ghost. So while I'm doing these tours, I remember myself. But so history tells us that notorious bandit Jesse James was killed in 1882 in Missouri.
Not sure.
However, local legend tells us that it was actually another member of his gang named Charlie Bigelow killed in his stead. He escaped, moved here, and worked the railroads in the 1880s under the name J. Frank Dalton. This was the happening.